Thank you for being here. My name is Lois Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of Oregon Right to Life. And this election, Oregonians have an opportunity to make important choices about who we want to lead our state. And today we're highlighting an issue that we believe Oregonians pro-life and pro-choice can agree on, providing medical care for infants who survive attempted abortions. It's our hope that today's press conference will provide needed context for voters as they consider who to support in this important election. First, I would like to introduce Amy Miles. Amy lives in Astoria and is a mother to 2 school-age children. She earned her master's degree and serves as a pediatric occupational therapist. Serving in a school setting, Amy hopes that her efforts will help children's school days be a little bit better. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. As Lois mentioned, my name is Amy Miles. I survived a therapeutic abortion procedure in Oregon in 1980, anywhere from 27 to 30 weeks gestation. I weighed about 3 pounds, and being born so early, I had a hard time breathing. After unexpectedly being born early, I was transported to a larger hospital to receive medical care. As a result of the abortion procedure, I have cerebral palsy, which impacts my hearing and the coordination of my legs. I've had to undergo many years of physical therapy from the injuries sustained by the abortionist. My adoptive parents met me for the first time in the NICU, and they loved me and protected me fiercely ever since. I love adoption and the gift of life it gives to mothers and babies. I'm thankful to have adoption be part of my story, and I want to share with those who may be considering abortion that their child's story does not have to end in abortion. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to have a wonderful family of my own. I have great care and empathy for women, including my birth mother. I share my story to let others know that tiny babies, like myself, survive abortions. Babies right now today are being born alive after an attempt to take their lives, to end their lives in abortion, and are not being given medical care that they need and deserve. I've only recently learned of my survival story. I told my adoptive parents that I wanted to find my birth mother. I thought of her often, especially after the birth of my 2 beautiful children. I was shocked to find out that the story that I had created in my mind was not really what happened. It felt like time stood still for me, and I felt myself going back to all the questions and struggles that I had had as a child. At that same time, I was pleading with my Maker, please, Lord, don't let this really be true. Well, it was true, and it bothers me greatly that our laws in Oregon allow babies, like I was, to be aborted up into the moment of birth. My life matters regardless of my beginnings. I am the same me as I was as a 3-pound baby girl struggling to breathe as I am today. I'm thankful to be connected with dozens of other survivors of abortions through the Abortion Survivors Network. There are likely tens of thousands of us as data that this network will soon be releasing that shows, based on failure rates of abortions calculated from Canadian government reports. There are only 10 states currently that report the number of born alive infants that they have each year. Within these reports, statements like was provided comfort care or no medical care was provided are frequent. Just think of how they would have lived if they had been provided medical care. The fact that I'm alive to tell my story doesn't negate the fact that thousands of children suffer a different fate. The reality is that if I've been born today in this state, children like I was are not protected and guaranteed a chance to live. Babies who survive abortion procedures deserve life-sustaining medical care like I received. I'm so thankful to be here. I feel blessed to be able to give back to my community by working with children as an occupational therapist. I love my job, I love my family, I love my friends, and I love my life. Babies and mothers in Oregon deserve much better than what abortion offers.
Thank you, Amy, for sharing your story. And now I want to welcome Michelle Lyman. She currently lives in Oregon City. She's been married for 36 years, and she and her husband have 7 children, 9 grandchildren, and she serves her community through a Montessori preschool she started 15 years ago. Michelle?
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Lyman, and I am an abortion survivor. My story began in 1964. I was a result of an affair, and in an effort to cover it up, a decision was made to end my life through abortion. The money was paid and the procedure was performed. My mother thought she would bleed to death. After almost losing her own life, it would be 2 or 3 months before she realized I too survived. I am here as an abortion survivor to tell you abortion affects real people. Oregon has some of the most extreme abortion laws in the nation, leaving countless people just like me without a chance to tell their story. My mother was vulnerable, scared, and helpless. Instead of support, my mother was pressured to end my life as a solution. But I got a second chance at life, and I am committed to telling my story in hope that others will have a chance at life as well. Not only did I get a second chance, but my mom got a second chance. And my heart breaks for the mothers that regret their abortions that didn't get that second chance. I still remember the night that I learned of my survival. I was 17, sitting at a little table in my mom's room with her, and she made a statement. "It's a miracle that you're alive." And immediately I thought she was referring to the stories I had heard growing up about how I'd been run over twice, and the second time it was by a truck. But that wasn't it. And as she continued to share, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She began to share how she secretly went and had an abortion and thought that it was successful and was just shocked that I lived. After hearing this, I remember feelings of devastation and feeling devalued. And like Amy, I am one of the 610 survivors connected now with the Abortion Survivors Network. And through this network, I have received so much love and healing. My childhood was difficult, and while I suffered from abuse, I am so thankful for my life. I am a survivor. When I hear abortion supporters say that child abuse, neglect, and a broken foster care system are reasons we need legal abortion, I hear that my life isn't valuable when nothing could be further from the truth. You don't solve the foster care system by killing babies. You don't solve abusive situations by killing babies. You aren't pro-woman by offering to kill a woman's child as a solution to her problems. There are many organizations here in our state that offer life-affirming solutions for women and their children. Christine Drazen is pro-woman, pro-family, and the right choice for Oregon. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And now I'd like to welcome Senator Kim Thatcher, the Republican from Kaiser.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Senator Kim Thatcher. I live here in Kaiser, just down the road here. Oregon's abortion laws, you just heard, are some of the most extreme in the country, but they're also some of the most extreme in the entire world. We have taxpayer-funded abortion for any reason up until birth, and we allow for taxpayer-funded abortions for people that aren't even Oregonians and come from not only other states, but other countries. The supporters of this extreme abortion policy will fight against any common sense legislation that should not be partisan and is supported widely by most Oregonians, and that is the Born Alive Act. And when that bill was stuck in committee this last time, it was shocking that there was such resistance to even bringing it to the floor to have a vote. It was turned down for a vote on a party line vote. And it's type of thing that would bring Oregonians together. And in reality, we have pro-life candidates all over the state being attacked for being extreme, when in reality, it is our existing laws in Oregon that are extreme. And like I said, of supporting this common sense protection should bring Oregonians together and heal some of the rifts that we have in our political system. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And now I'd like to introduce Representative Anna Scharf from Amity.
Thank you, Lois. I am Anna Scharf from Representative for House District 23. But when the Born Alive bill came before the floor of the House, I was a staff member. I wasn't an elected official. I remember sitting in my office that day sobbing at the fact that we couldn't at least hear this bill and have a conversation about it. The reason I was crying is because 8 years ago, on October the 4th, I received a phone call from my sister-in-law. She said, "I need you to take me to the hospital. My water's broke. I can't get a hold of my husband. I can't get a hold of your husband. Can you help me?" I frantically drove her from our farm to Salem Hospital, where we arrived with great urgency. I think I was the only one who felt the sense of urgency because we'd neglected to tell them that she was pregnant with her first babies. They were twins, and they were 28 weeks old. Hours later, she gave birth to two beautiful baby boys, just under 2 pounds and just over 2 pounds. Those babies currently in the state of Oregon are considered able to be aborted. I'm proud to say that 8 years later, they are happy, they are healthy, they are loved. Children deserve a fighting chance in this state. We need to stand up for what's right for our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. As has been stated numerous times, later abortions are currently legal in Oregon. There are no restrictions, no protections for unborn babies up until birth. And even if they survive an abortion procedure, they are not protected and required to be given medical treatment. And we know from not only polling but anecdotal information and all of these candidates in discussing with Oregonians that they would support this kind of legislation. And across the state, millions are being spent calling pro-life candidates extreme. And we are here to say that Oregon's laws are what is extreme, and we would like to ask for voters to support candidates who will bring up this kind of legislation for discussion and hopefully passage. Thank you very much for being here today.